Hey guys, what is going on? It is Spherical here. We are back with episode number 23, I believe, of JoJo's Part 4. Yeah, 23, that's crazy. So, last time on, Shigechi met his end, unfortunately. He was murdered by Kira, who was just trying to protect himself and keep himself hidden. The way the episode ended was with Jotaro and Koichi, who went into this tailor's shop and tried to locate where the button might be from. They found the jacket, and bombs happened. The tailor blew up. Well, he didn't blow up, but he's dead. And then a big explosion happened that ended off the episode. And Jotaro and Koichi are dead, and that's the end of the show. No, they're going to be fine, but I'm curious to see how this plays out. Is Kira going to try and fight them, or is he going to use the explosion to cover his escape? I think that's probably the most likely option, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. So let's dive right into it. All right, ladies and gents, so we've done it. Echo's Act 3 has arrived, and he's looking pretty freaking cool. So, what did it do to... Okay, so hold on. First of all, sheer heart attack. Is that, just... Again, I just want to be clear on this. Is that just, like, an extension... I'm sorry, an extension of Killer Queen? Or, like, does he have two stands? I feel like I might have missed something. Let me look back. I don't know. It's really, like, I'm looking back and I couldn't really find any, like, I think sheer heart attack is just a technique used by Killer Queen. Or maybe, like I'm trying to, this is might be the most unique stand we've seen. Maybe it's like, there's Killer Queen and then there's sheer heart attack. They're two different things, but both encompassed by the same stand. Because again, the two abilities we've seen, Killer Queen can turn anything it touches into a bomb, and sheer heart attack is just this rolling thing that just blows the fuck up, and it doesn't stop, and it just rolls towards heat. So, I guess they can't be two different stands, can they? They're the same stand. But then in that case, what is... Well, no, because I'm looking at the halfway thing, and it says, Stand Master Kira Yoshikage, stand name sheer heart attack, but he also has the stand name of Killer Queen. So what's his stand? Like, that's what I'm trying to get down to the bottom of. Does he have two stands? Or if it is just one, what do we call it? Can we just call it either or? Killer Queen or sheer heart attack? It's really interesting. Again, I was, like, confused as hell for, like, the end of last episode and a little bit at the start of this episode, because I just could not figure out what the fuck this little skull thing was. It didn't make any sense, because everything we've seen so far is you have one stand that has an ability, and that's kind of it, right? For the most part. Of course, there are some exceptions. And I do want to mention, I think I talked about this before. No. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember, I think I had brought up the discussion of having two stands once before, when we were talking about Enya, who, she has her stand, which I can't remember what it was called, but she also had the ability to give other people stands, which we didn't know at the time that was just from the bow. I was wondering if maybe that was, like, two stand abilities. I think that's where I'm remembering this from, but this is definitely really unique and interesting. Again, I was a little bit confused to begin with, but I'm up to speed. Like, we have Killer Queen can turn things into bombs. Sheer heart attack is its own little thing that rolls around and seeks out heat and blows up. But what are they exactly? I'm gonna assume it's just one stand that has multiple different names and forms, possibly. But we also saw that Killer Queen and sheer heart attack were out at the same time, because when Kira was, like, looking, like, behind the doorway and, like, saying, as you can't escape sheer heart attack and whatever, we saw Killer Queen right beside him, while sheer heart attack was also out doing its own thing. So how does it work, right? Can he just do whatever, like, he use both of them as he wants? Like, is there a limit to using one or the other? Like, I'm really curious now. It's really interesting. And so what did Echo's Act 3 do to it? It what did I put my notes away for a second. Called it 3 freeze, something that's beyond Koichi's comprehension. I'm not I'm not following what the fuck it just did. It did a bunch of freeze punches, and then all of a sudden it was super weighted down and couldn't move. I was wondering at first if maybe it froze it and slowed it down or something, but it's definitely weighted down, and we saw that with Kira's left hand. And also, on the note of the whole Killer Queen and sheer heart attack thing, it seems like sheer heart attack, like you know how I brought up the topic of how, especially in this part, I feel like there are some stands that like don't damage the user in a way that we would normally expect, if that makes any sense. One thing I'm thinking of in particular is a Hazamata stand, where like it was like this big mannequin doll thing, but when it was destroyed, Hazamata wasn't destroyed, so the stand was like consuming or whatever. So there's a lot of like technicalities with what stands are, and again, I've talked about this a lot, but it seems like sheer heart attack mostly resides in Kira's left hand, because I had noticed when he kept talking about sheer heart attack, there was like this little glow on his left hand and stuff, and now that sheer heart attack is weighted down, like his left hand is weighted down, so that's interesting too. Again, I guess sheer heart attack only is in his left hand, whereas Killer Queen is in like the rest of his body. I don't know, it's really weird. It really seems like these are two different stands, but I don't know if they necessarily are, you know what I mean? Not that it necessarily matters a whole lot, but I guess it would matter if somebody was able to have two stands, because that would be good to know, right? But I don't think that's the case. I think it's probably just interchangeable abilities. And I guess that would bring up the question of, is there anything else he can do? Maybe he has one in his left hand, one in his right hand, and then Killer Queen is like the rest of his body or something like that. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting. Yeah, Killer Queen would be like his main ability. You would have like sheer heart attack, which is this little thing, so it'd be kind of like his left hand, and then like some other ability would kind of reside in his right hand, where if it were affected or destroyed or damaged or anything, it would affect his right hand instead. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe not, I don't know. Yes, the Kira stand as a whole is just very, very interesting right now. I like it. I mean, we're gonna learn more about it next episode, because we're still in this battle with sheer heart attack. So like, what happened? Like, what would happen if sheer heart attack were to be completely destroyed? Would Kira's left hand just be destroyed, and then that's that? He couldn't use sheer heart attack anymore, or how would that work? And also, no, this might be a stretch, but does the fact that sheer heart attack reside in his left hand, does that have anything to do with why he's taking people's hands? Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like Kira's got some things going on with hands, you know what I mean? He's got a sheer heart attack in his left hand. He's got dates going on with, random women's hands. Like, I don't know. It's just he's maybe that's a stretch, but maybe there's some correlation there. I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, no, interesting discussion, I think. And again, I'm asking all these questions. We're probably going to have them answered before Kira's, before we see the end of Kira. If we do, maybe we won't. Maybe he will reign supreme and just keep murdering. That's a possibility. But again, I'm sure we'll get some answers. Yeah, and we'll learn more about these abilities, and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyways, though, I think it's time to leave it off here. So, as always, if you guys want early access and/or the full-length versions of these reactions, click that link down in the description. It'll take you to patreon.com/sphericalfilms, and you can check that out there. But with all of that out of the way, I do thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys all on Tuesday with episode number 24 of part 4. Until then, peace out.